Hi guys, it's Peggy from Peggy's Tropical Garden. Thanks for joining me today. I am getting ready to do a complete overhaul of my outdoor garden because it is just not what I had intended it to be. It's more overgrown and just just not what I intended. So what I've done is I've consulted with a professional landscaper who's going to come out and help me with some things. So before I start pulling up things, I am going to just give you a little look around so you can see kind of like a before and after. As you can see over here, the weeds are taking over. It's like I have done everything, but yet I end up with a lot of weeds. I like leaving wildflowers for the butterflies, etc. But I mean, even my pots, if you look, and I'm constantly weeding. So just want to give you a look around before um, things go into action. We're getting ready to start on that in a few days. Stuff in the fountain is doing well. Um, but yeah, the garden is just not working. Look at this, it's just like a mess. So yeah, it's going to be redone and hopefully be much better than ever. And she can give me some hints and tips on how to maintain and like that. So anyway, that's what's getting ready to happen. And I hope you'll stick with me and join me and watch the garden redo. In the meantime, I'll let you finish looking around, see what I'm starting off with before we start pulling things up. The plan is to pull up most of the plants and empty most of the pots so that we can kind of start from scratch. It's always harder starting with a garden that's already established when you're trying to redo it. So it's going to be a lot of work, but the landscape designer is up for the challenge. I have a lot of faith in her. So hopefully it'll come out with something more in tune with what I have in mind for the property. In addition to removing the plants from the pots so that we can regroup the pots and kind of color coordinate things, we're also going to be pulling up the plants from the ground, a lot of them, including some of the larger ones and trees and like that. So it's a pretty big project. Um, but hopefully, well, I'm sure I'll end up with something, more to my liking, a little more calm, a little more zen. I think I got a little carried away. I have way too many small pots sitting around, and again, things just aren't being maintained the way I want them to be. And with the grass coming in over my rocks and things like that, I'm just not sure what to do. So this is the main walkway. This big agave will also be moved to a new spot. I'm kind of interested in seeing how they're going to do that and where she wants to put it. I have some ideas. We've kind of bounced them off of each other. And I think I think she's going to go with the last place that I mentioned to her. So I'm excited about that. When I planted it, it was much smaller, but now it's starting to encroach on the walkway. So that's definitely an issue with those sharp spines on the end. Okay, this footage was taken the next day. You see my big trash can out there and stuff, and I've already pulled these plants out of pots and I have put them in the black nursery pots. So I've started on that. It's really hot. It's in the high 90s right now, and it's definitely been some work. But I purchased these pots off of Amazon. They weren't very pricey, and I was able to get those to put the plants in. And now I'm just kind of trying to figure out where else to go. I'm pulling up all the bromeliads so that I can move those to another spot. Definitely will be using those. And then my husband is up here. This tree house was put in this house before we bought it. And it's been there, from what I understand, for probably about 30 years. But we have a staghorn under there, and it's not doing well at all because it doesn't get enough light and water with the tree house up there. So hopefully once this is removed, we can save that staghorn. It's huge, and it would be just really a shame to just sit there and knock it down. So hopefully we can keep it alive. I realized you couldn't hear me after the saw got started up there, but you didn't miss anything. So anyhow, that's where we are today. Oh my goodness, it is so hot. It is so very hot and humid. I'm soaked. My clothes are absolutely soaked. Yeah, I did not realize just how many bromeliads I had and just how many plants I have. It's funny, if you don't realize how many plants you have, dig them all up or start taking them out of the pots and everything, and very quickly you'll realize, wow, I have a lot of plants. One of the neighbors stopped by and was walking through the plants that I've pulled up and stuff, and she says, oh, it looks like it's a nursery here. I'm like, yeah. Anyway, I'm glad I'm not the person that's going to have to put them all back in the ground and replant them and repot them and everything. So, but this is how it's looking. So I'm not going to talk for the rest of the video, I think. But anyway, just, giving you that look around. This is it until we get to the next phase. Hope you stick with me to see how it goes. I'm very excited about this. And here's where some of the plants have been pulled up so far, some of the bromeliads and things like that. So it should be thinning out very quickly. Okay, it's actually the next day now, and if you look around, you'll see that quite a few plants are missing. A lot of them have been dug up. The landscaping crew was here today. They pulled up the areca palms that were along this wall, so it's bare there now. And all the smaller plants that I had along this wall are gone. Some of the plants she left, they're going to be anchor plants or will blend in with the ideas that we have for the garden, at least right now. Some of them still may be pulled up more. But as you can see, my full garden that had all the plants and all the grass and everything, it's been pretty much pulled up. So it looks better already. That's sad, all that work I put into it, but honestly, it does look better already. Just getting cleaned up and all the rocks removed. Remember all the border rocks that I had there, the coral? Those have been removed. Not sure if we're going to move the fountain or not. We're talking about it, but we're going to see what happens. All that mound of coral back there. And there's another mound of coral in the other part of the yard. So quite a few boulders and rocks and things. Yeah, this is a big project. So we're thinking it's going to take 5 or 6 days. So there's trash cans with some of the rocks we've pulled up. There's some of my other plants that we've pulled up so far. Oh my goodness. It's moving right along. No complaints here. I'm Peggy. Thanks for joining me in what's left of my tropical garden. I'll give you updates every now and then, but I'm not going to show you every little bit of it because it's just too time consuming. And I know you have other things to do, but I do appreciate your support. So like and subscribe. Click on that bell so that you know when I get new videos in. And stick with me. Don't forget to go out there and do something fabulous in your garden. Bye-bye.